Good afternoon on what is a cool, bright and sunny day. It is Saturday, October the 15th, and whilst I should be at Concrete Cow 22.5, I'm just too busy with things, but not too busy to do a couple of unboxings. So I've got a nice hot cup of tea, and a parcel to unbox. So let's find out what is in here. This is well packaged, so bear with me. Be very careful with the knife. Okay. Still not open. Okay. Which side am I supposed to be into? This is meant to be a tag or something. Okay. Yeah. Very well packaged. I managed to get it that open. The flap. But I can't see how to actually. And what I've actually done is I've opened it at the wrong end. I think no. Yeah, I have. Of course, I have. So let's try this again. And I've got several books in here, including Woodfall, which is a dark fantasy mini setting. Willow, a grim micro setting. The Haunted Hamlet and Other Hexes. And The Toxic Wood, a corrosive hex crawl adventure. So the first one of these I'm going to have a look at is Woodfall, dark fantasy mini setting. It's for the OSR, as you can tell by the logo on the back. And we open up and we have, doesn't say who it's by, but I will find out in due course, because they open up and we've got a table of locations and encounters for the Game Master to throw at his players, and then they actually got a table of the contents. We've got section 1, Woodfall Village, and then section 2, the Swamp and the Darkwood. Essentially, this book is a mini setting for pen and paper role-playing games designed to be run as a rather standalone and plugged into your campaign world, hack the setting apart, alter it anyway, and it's a hex crawl, and it's got a really sort of sense, actually, really kind of nice illustration of here's how you use this, which I don't think I've seen that kind of before. So mini setting, or run as a standalone, or drop into your campaign world, cross-pollinate and link the mini settings to the themes and characters of the larger setting, blend over the seams. So section 1, Woodfall Town. It's a swamp belonging to a king where witches, the thieves and outlaws are squatting. They built a town on top of the swamp and have resisted several evictions. Now, Woodfall itself, I think, basically is not new. This is previously available, I believe, as a setting in its own right, and it didn't have basically the swamp and Darkwood out the back, as it were. But here we have a map of Woodfall. It's basically a series of islands with, the kind of the wooden footpaths or bridges from areas of dryish land or island that the players can cross, to get from one location to another. And then we have a brief history of Woodfall, again nicely done as sort of like basically an illustration before getting an explanation of here's Woodfall's economy, and nicely doing it as pictorial as this. It's basically to rather than tell you, it illustrates you, it shows you. I think that's a nice touch. Woodfall legal section, organising structure. So you're actually getting quite a lot of information. Quite, you know, it's not just a simple village. It's beginning to feel like a community. We go into, there's a magic mask shop. In regulars at the Crooked Inn. Places you can go to like the Fence and the Forger. So it's a criminal location as well. There's even a Ravenry. And a discussion of, well, necromancy in the setting. The Thieves Guild, even in a small village like this, if you've got a criminal, I suppose you do have a Thieves Guild. Potion shop. So it's a bit of a smorgasbord. You know, you expect all of these things into a larger city, into a large town or city, but here, they're all here in one place. Hirelings for the player characters to take on their expeditions. King's Spy, because they've got interest in the village on a territory that isn't his. And then beyond, we have the sort of like the fairies of Woodfall and their interactions with the village. And a complete list of NPCs and sort of how they might be related. Again, not so much telling you as showing you. Nice illustrations of basically the weirdness of Woodfall. Section 2 is the swamp and Darkwood, so taking you out beyond the realms of the village to where you have numerous factions. Including Mutant Clan, Dermot the Hermit Druid, including Clans of the Sick Tree, Goblin Punk's Fortress, and there's Goblin Spike Clan. So this feels a bit sort of like a bit grimdark, a bit chaos spiky, bit sort of that kind of feel to it. A bit rough and scratchy around the edges. There's nothing. It doesn't feel like there's anything slick or clean about it. We have a lonely troll. There is some frogmen, a colony of frogmen, and then dominating it all, I suppose, is the Revolutionary Corps Council, which is a fantastically great idea. Just a lovely concept. And essentially how they operate, who they are, the RCC dungeon, almost sounding like a ship, the Bog Witches and their house, Cult of the Stag, Soldier Camp. Essentially this is where the king is operating from to try and get to reoccupy Woodfall village. Monster Camp, Swamp People. So lots of factions involved, and then backed up with swamp encounters, and rare creatures local to the area. And things to do. So we have things like monster hunting and then treasure, so elements which the player characters can get interested in. So tables of that, so you've got random treasure tables and some sample magical items particular to the area, do it yourself magic and crafting magic items if you player characters want to get involved in that. Magical woods for wand crafting and orb materials. Strange flora, and then changes over time. So for example, if the Goblin Spore device is completed, the RCC, the Revenue Corps Council continues to gain power. The Cult of the Stag continues to gain power. Woodfall gets evicted. So they actually track They track, you know, the sort of like the storylines if the players don't get involved, and this is what happens. And then Woodfall Village event ideas, and then random findings and a character sheet. So, although this is an OSR, an old school Renaissance setting, it's really more or less systems neutral. It doesn't specifically say one setting or another. But it's stripped down enough that, like most entries for the old school Renaissance, you can use it with a system of your choice. So obviously, old school essentials or Labyrinth Lord, or if you really want to, you know, you could do it with the Lamentations of the Flame Princess, weird fantasy and role playing. But this really kind of calls for sort of like the mix of magic and character classes that you do get in something like old school essentials. But then you could easily upgrade it to do it with, say, I would say 13th Age, or even you could adapt it to the version of D&D or Dungeons & Dragons of your choice, of course. But what you've got here is a mini setting and campaign in and around the village and a swamp, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. Lots of NPCs for the player characters to interact with. All you need is really some missions and some tasks for the player characters to do, and then they can start getting involved in the storylines which the booklet involves. So yeah, really nice little book, really great little setting. I think that people will really enjoy adding to their campaign or using or running as a mini campaign. Anyway, that's Woodfall, a dark fantasy mini setting. I am oddly, as I say, oh, hold on, Appendix N. It's by the Lazy Lich, and this is the second edition. Honestly, if you haven't got this, do track it down. I think it's a really nice little book. Anyway, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've liked what you've seen, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a package containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.